guys, my name is KenYada and welcome back to my channel. As you can tell from the title, this is another trimester recap video. This is all about the second trimester. Make sure that if you're not already that you subscribe to my channel, because I am going to be giving you guys many more, mom life, pregnancy type videos on my channel. I actually already created a playlist. I'll make sure to link that above or just watch the end of the video. It will be one of the videos listed for you to continue watching some of my content. So let's get right into it. As I said, we're going to be talking about the second trimester. The second trimester is definitely when things kind of picked up, but also slowed down, if that makes sense. So the beginning of the second trimester, it was really weird. I talked about it in my last, videos, the first trimester update recap video. So I was dealing with nausea and vomiting and things like that, but it was tolerable, which is normally for most women, the first trimester, nausea and stuff is at its worst. But for whatever reason, that is what I experienced in my second trimester. My nausea did not come to play. It got really aggressive. I was not able to keep anything down. I wasn't eating anything at this point. I was trying to eat foods, obviously, but the more and more I was throwing up things, I started getting super selective to the point where it felt like I just don't want to try anything. I don't want to really eat anything because it's going to come up. It never failed. I knew the feeling immediately. Obviously, you know what it feels like to feel queasy, but a lot of times with nausea, that's it. You'll feel queasy, but not enough to vomit. I was literally throwing up everything I was eating. So at my doctor's appointment, the OB, she always asks, obviously, how you're feeling, how's the nausea, how's this, is there anything weird going on? So I immediately was yeah, the nausea has really turned it up a notch, because I was not feeling this sick. I was not throwing up every little thing. It was more not situational, but it was more in the morning, I guess that is what it was. Last trimester, first trimester, to me, it did feel situational, or anything that the baby just didn't agree with. Actually feeling sick because of the food you ate, the baby was what is this? Whereas now it's no matter what I eat, no matter what I try to do, because they're always telling you, let's talk about the myth of when you get pregnant, how I don't know if it's movies or just other people's experience, but they always try to make it you just gorge out, right? You eating all this stuff. You're just being pregnant. You're growing, you're getting bigger, you're gaining weight, and you're able to eat anything and everything because you're having these wild cravings. That is not always the case. The doctors even tell you that you don't need to really be out here acting like you eating for two, if that makes sense. You don't need to overindulge. Your stomach still has boundaries. It's still pretty much you should be eating more but smaller meals. So it's not you need to sit here in one setting and just completely go ham for every single meal. It's eat more, snack. That's what they tell you to do. You should be snacking throughout the day, so that when you do sit down to eat, you don't need this whole big meal because you've been snacking all throughout the day, so you're not even really starving. So I was just not wanting to eat anything because I was what is going on? I know I'm going to throw it up. So when I was telling her, I was okay, we gotta talk about medication, because my nausea, I can't get it under control on my own. And I'm already trying to eat smaller meals, really be selective on what I'm eating, when I'm eating it, what are the, how, it reminded me of when they used to tell you, after you eat a big meal, not to go run or not to swim or these weird things. That's how I felt. I was really trying to narrow it down so that I was doing everything so that I wouldn't throw up. So I would literally eat and then sit up for 2 hours and everything this, do all this weird stuff, or try to walk it off and different things like this so I wouldn't throw up. Girl, none of that worked. So that's why I was telling her I need some medicine, because I don't want this. If we can kind of get it under control, I want to try, because I talked about it in one of my other videos where with my first son, it took them forever to get the nausea under control. So this time we made sure to let them know of the medication that did work in the first pregnancy. That's what she prescribed, and we really did get that nausea under control. I did feel I was able to eat more. Obviously, if the baby didn't agree with something, I felt nauseous or whatever, but it wasn't every single meal. I mean, the doctor was so confused because she was like, this is normally not what happens. Obviously, there's always like curves and, you know, weird things that can happen. This was one of those things. Like, it's not super common for people to be sick their entire pregnancy, let alone for like your nausea to just kind of go haywire second trimester. That's normally when it eases up. I had basically like the opposite experience of like what, you know, nausea or vomiting and all that's normally supposed to do in a pregnancy. So when I said earlier, like it kind of like went crazy but calmed down, that's what I mean. Like once I started taking the medication, everything kind of leveled out. The nausea is like directly correlated with my energy level. So if I'm not consuming food, I'm throwing things up, obviously I'm super tired. So once we got the nausea under control, it helped me have more energy. We're not talking about like normal energy that a human has that's not like pregnant, but just, you know, decent pregnant energy where I was able to still kind of function and do like day-to-day things, nothing super strenuous or anything like that, but just I was able to exist without like feeling completely depleted every little activity I did because I didn't have any fuel. So I was super excited. I was ecstatic when, you know, we got that nausea under control because it's just like depressing. Like it can make you, it definitely can affect your mood. Like food is the simplest thing in this life. Like, you know what I mean? Like we enjoy it, we love it, we always trying different dishes, trying to cook, do all this stuff, right? Just imagine that basically being stripped from you when you go into pregnancy thinking that this is that number one thing that everybody's talking about. You got these crazy cravings, you're eating all the time, it's joy, it's food. It messes with your mind. It can make you sad, it can make you depressed, you know, because it's like it's not living up to your expectation of what you thought pregnancy was going to be. You definitely know that you get a little nauseated, you get sick, but not to such an extreme level what everything you're like throwing up. I mean, you start to like dislike food because you just don't want to eat it because you know you're going to have to throw it up, you know? So that just really elevated my mood. Come second trimester, I felt like I was glowing, had a little pep in my step, like your girl was excited once we got the medication under control. Another thing that was super severe in the second trimester was my back pain. And, you know, I guess just because, you know, baby's getting bigger, but I didn't go a single day without back pain. Like I felt it in my shoulders and like all the way down my spine. It wasn't even like lower back pain like you would think because that's where your stomach is resting. It was literally like up here in my shoulders and my spine. Like I literally had like Jermaine using his knuckles to like get in there because it was just very painful. Like it really would be on a whole nother level at night. You know, you're sitting here trying to get comfortable and like, you know, wind down and go to sleep for the night. But it was hard. I'm just trying to do all these positions, use my pregnancy pillow. Nothing was working. Like even after these massages, like, and I didn't take medicine other than my nausea medication. I didn't take like ibuprofens, Tylenols or anything like that. So I was just dealing with I was just dealing with that back pain. And it was like, I don't know. It was just, whew. I mean, like my back would literally be on fire. Like I just didn't, like the first pregnancy, I remember back pain, but I don't remember it being that bad. Like I said, and it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Like I just thought like my lower back would ache. You know, we're talking about like a fire pain going down my spine. And I'm just like, it's only the second trimester. Are we really going to be dealing with this until the end of the pregnancy? Because it was a bit much and it never let up. So this was, once it came, it was like here to stay. I didn't really have it in the first trimester, but I was definitely dealing with a lot of back pain, like a lot of back pain. I'm like, what is happening? Like you would have thought I was carrying, I don't know, like I definitely had like a healthy weight gain, but I don't know what was putting so much stress on my back because it didn't feel like my stomach was doing it. Like it's just like, I don't think I really got that big, like based on my weight gain, my starting weight, like my ending weight. It just didn't seem like I got really big to where my back should have been hurting the way it was, but it really was. So the other thing is, the last thing is the cravings. So the cravings, I talked about first trimester, it was cereal and chicken. So second trimester, I developed a crazy sweet tooth. Like I don't like sweets. I'm that weirdo, you know, like I don't I don't have to have it. I like natural sweetness, so I lean more towards like fruits. Like I love fruit. So that was what I experienced with Jeremiah. It just kind of worked out. I already liked fruit. He liked fruit. Like we was just vibing with the fruit with my first pregnancy. This time I still ate fruit, mainly just grapes, watermelon. I had watermelon the entire pregnancy. I started getting frustrated because, you know, being pregnant from like September into May, it's the off season, right? Like I had it at the beginning of the pregnancy because it was like that late summer, like, okay, we still got some watermelon, but obviously once we started hitting October, November, December, watermelon's not in season. So I was like suffering because I was craving something that I couldn't have. And then, you know, it started to pick up once we got to like late February, early March. I was able to get my watermelon back, but that was really the only fruit. Whereas with Jeremiah, I was having cantaloupes, grape, pineapple, watermelon. Like we was making fruit bowls. Like I was loving me some fruit. Jeremy had a sweet tooth. Like I don't, like I said, I don't need it. Like I really don't like sweets like that. I'll eat on my own. Like I may get some ice cream here and there, but like it's just not something that I'm like, oh, let's go, you know, get some ice cream, let's go. I hate cake, you know, so just like I don't like sweets, but I wanted everything. We was getting ice cream like blizzards like 2-3 times a week. I wanted sundaes, I wanted milkshakes, brownies. I had Jermaine make brownies several times during the pregnancy. Those fudge brownies, you know, those little muffins, those little, I don't know why, I think there's only like 4 in a pack, but the little fudge brownies that they make, I couldn't go to sleep at night unless I had like some of those. Sometimes I could eat the whole pack, or I would just be like, hey, Jermaine, I'll eat 2, you eat 2. Because I started feeling guilty about the sweets I was consuming. Because I think for me, like not having a sweet tooth, it felt like I was like overindulging throughout the day on like ending the night with ice creams and fudge brownies and wanting like all this stuff. And I'm just like, I don't eat sweets. So this feels like I'm doing a lot. But like that sweet tooth came in the 2nd trimester, like literally had it 3rd trimester. But it's one of those things where it was just a pregnancy craving, because the moment like I had Jeremy, like I haven't even had anything, like nothing, no brownies, no ice cream, milkshake, nothing. I mean, I've been wanting like, I can't even think of anything sweet in like the dessert category that I've even had since I've had Jeremy. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't have a sweet tooth. So that was all pregnancy, right? And the other craving that like, I like peanut butter. I'll eat some peanut butter crackers here and there, but I literally was like obsessed with peanut butter. So it randomly came, like we have peanut butter in the cabinet because Jermaine likes, like his favorite little snack is like peanut butter and jelly and ravioli. So like we already have peanut butter, but something happened one day where it was like, I just wanted something light. It was like, you know, the snacking I told you guys about, like it was that point of the day where it was like in between meals, let me grab a snack. So for whatever reason, I started wanting peanut butter. So this is what I used to do. Just not even a full peanut butter sandwich. It used to be slice of bread, spread the peanut butter over it, fold it in half. That was my peanut butter sandwich. I used to eat that like 3-4 times a day. And then like that was really the extent of the peanut butter, other than like peanut butter crackers. I used to, like, we already had some of those in the house for whatever reason. So I didn't really have to ask Jermaine to get those from the grocery store. We already kind of had them. But once I had Jeremy, you know how when you're in the hospital and they can get you like whatever snacks and little things you want. I, asked the nurse if I could just have some graham crackers, because I know the hospital's always got graham crackers. And she was like, you want some peanut butter with that? And I'm like, sure. Like, yeah, let's do that. So ever since then, now this is a craving that stayed. This has never happened to me where it's something that I really didn't care for, like in the pregnancy, or something that I knew that was outside of myself and was a pregnancy craving, normally stops, like the sweets, the obsession with the cereal. But this is still around. Like I literally have Jermaine, I can go through a jar of peanut butter in a week. Like peanut butter like lasts forever. It's just something that's always in the cabinet. Nah, I get the because at first, like at the hospital, they had the Smucker's peanut butter, those little, I don't know, little jars. But like, I don't know, I can't find it. The only one I was able to find was like a natural peanut butter, and this is legit. Like they just smashed up peanuts and threw it in the jar, like, because it was so natural, it's separated and all. It's not giving what it's supposed to give. It literally tastes like mashed up peanuts, and that's not what I want for peanut butter. So we got Reese's peanut butter in a jar, and then I just get these honey graham crackers, and all day long I'm sitting here spreading the peanut butter over these. This is my new snack, and this is just, like I said, I like peanut butter, but not to this extent. So this is like one of those symptoms that just hung around to stay, which is like very interesting, because I'm like, I was gonna look it up, like, what's that about? Why did that stay versus any of the other ones? You know what I mean? So nothing else really weird happened in the second trimester. You know, recap, we had the nausea speed up until we got the medication under control, severe back pain. I mentioned it, I didn't mention it really in this video, but the dry skin thing, like that popped up, the dry sensitive skin from the first trimester, it stayed. It's still here now. So that's something that was here in the second trimester, not really to highlight because nothing shifted with it. I got the moisturizer, and we've been kind of just dealing with the fact that my skin is dry, not so much sensitive, but it's definitely dry. And then the two main cravings in the second trimester was the peanut butter and the sweet tooth. So guys, we got one more video where I'm going to give you the third trimester updates. I really hope you guys are enjoying these recaps. I'm enjoying them because it's like a reflection of like, dang, you know, this is what was going on with me a couple of months ago. So I'm going to go ahead and conclude the video here. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you so much. If you're not already, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.